Good evening, everyone. So as I said, today's session will be talking about university shortlisting for masters as well as PhD. So this webinar is for people applying for MS programs and PhD programs. So if you are somebody who are looking to apply for MBA programs, then this is not the session for you. If you are planning to apply for any undergrad degree or anything, then also this is not a session for you. You will not find any much useful information. But if you are thinking of planning for master's programs or PhD programs, then definitely you will find information related to you here. So the university selection or university shortlisting is a two-way process. Very often students feel that that they are the ones who have to select the university, that there are tons of university available and they have to choose. However, that is not the case. It is not just your decision. The college should fit into your requirements. Of course, this is what everybody focuses on anyway. But more importantly, you should also fit into the college's requirements. So it's a two-way process. So you should be eligible to apply for the university, of course, and at the same time you should the university should also fit into your requirements, whatever your requirements are. Your requirements may be in terms of budget or certain course or program. So the university should meet all those criteria. Number one. Number two, you also should meet the admission criteria of the university. So it's a two-way process. So it's like a match, it's a match between you and the right university. Now, usually, so we counsel lots of students every year. So in our experience, so the students' requirements are usually, these are the things that the students are looking for, right? Quality of education, budget, scholarships, job prospects. Usually these are the things that a student looks for when he thinks about applying to university. So quality of education wise, of course, the curriculum that the university offers should contain the courses or at least the direction that you are looking for. That is one important area. Let's say that you want to apply for masters in computer science with a specialization in embedded systems, but if the university that you want to apply for, it may have MS in computer science, but if it has no specialization or no focus on no research area in embedded systems, then that university does not meet your criteria. So moreover, let's say that you are a very bright student from a very good university in India right now. You have done your bachelor's degree. Now at the master's level, for your CV to look good, for your resume to look good in future for your recruiters, it is important that the quality of college that you go to for your master's degree, it should be better than the quality of a bachelor's degree college. For instance, if you are in IIT, right now, if you are pursuing a bachelor's degree from an IIT right now, then when you are applying for master's degree, you should target only the top 10-20 colleges in the US. The other colleges, so they will not have that much of an impact on your CV. It might seem as if you have kind of the college quality has kind of gone down a bit. So similarly, if you are in a very good college, so the master's degree college or the PhD degree college, whatever you are applying for, that the quality of that college should be better than the one from which you are pursuing your current degree. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, your CV will not look attractive. So ultimately, all of you want to do a master's degree or a PhD degree because you want a job, you want to work, I'm pretty sure. So and to be able to work, you have to be hired by companies, so so you need to make a good impression on your employers, on your prospective employers. So for that to happen, you should at the college shortlisting stage itself, you have to make sure that the master's degree or PhD degree college that you are going to should be of a better quality, higher level than the college from where you have done your bachelor's degree. Right? Any questions on this point? So the quality of education has two aspects. One is the availability of the program, of course. Second, this angle, that your bachelor's degree college quality and the master's degree college quality difference. So anybody has any questions still for the first point? Just keep your questions limited to the first point. Anybody has any questions related to quality of education? Okay, so if not, then budget. Right, you can do that. You can choose your specialization later also. Of course, you can do that. Then you will have to choose from whatever available options are there in that university. So now the budget. All of you will have a budget, right? So and when I say budget, so the budget means the money that you can spend, you know, not that, okay, my budget is 40 lakhs, out of which I want a scholarship of 20 lakhs. So that's not the thing. When you plan your budget, the budget is purely the amount of money that you can afford. If you get any scholarship or anything, you know, that is then additional, right? So you have a budget. If not, you should talk to your parents. You know, there has to be a budget to work on. So and the budget plays an important criteria. Let's say that your budget is, you know, 30 lakhs, you know. So very often, you know, and now this 30 lakhs, you know, people look at only the tuition, but in this budget of 30 lakhs, you have to cover both the tuition as well as cost of living. University websites, they usually display, you know, the tuition rates for international students, and then they will have an estimate for living cost. So the estimate of living cost that is available on the university websites, it's a little higher than what Indian students usually spend. So if on a university website it says that annual cost of living is $12,000, then the Indian students, you know, they usually stay off campus, they stay with roommates, so they will probably end up spending, you know, $8,000 to $9,000 per year. So they will not spend the 12,000. So you have some, you know, leeway in that manner as well. Okay, so then, you know, your now budget and scholarships are interrelated, right? In the sense that people look at scholarships to give them additional budget, right? Now students usually come to us and say that, okay, I want to go to a college which gives scholarships. Now that's a wrong question to ask. Let's say there are two universities, University A and University B. So in University A, if the tuition is let's say $50,000, and if the University B, the tuition is $30,000. Now in this case, let's say University A gives you a scholarship of $10,000, but University B does not give you any scholarship. Even then, University B will turn out to be cheaper for you, right? So don't operate from the mindset that I will apply to only colleges which give scholarships. Look at the overall scenario. You know, look at the tuition fees, look at the cost of living, look at the scholarships. A lot of universities, especially the state universities, they are cheaper. So even without scholarship, they would turn out to be cheaper than a lot of the private universities. Okay, right. So I see a couple of questions. Shanu, your question is, did university matters? Okay, I did not understand your question, so please try to, you know, reframe it. Jay, your question is, how can one measure quality of education? Well, you cannot measure, you know, but you know, right? I mean, you know what kind of college you are attending, you know. So, and in the US, like, you know, just I mean, usually our top, if you are an IIT student, then you should target the top 20. If you are from an NIT, you know, then the top 50-60 universities in the US are good. So if you are from not an NIT, not an IIT, but still a decent, you know, state or government university, then you should stick to the top 100 universities. So these are some general guidelines, right? But if your current college is just a private college, not very good, then, you know, of course the top 100, 150 US universities will be good enough for you. So there is no, like, you know, equation, or there is no like number associated with it. These are some you know, basically ballpark estimates. Atharva, your question is, what about ICT? Where does it lie worldwide? So I don't know what ICT is. So it will be good if you, like, you know, type in the full form. Rasika, so I think I addressed this. State universities, you know, government universities, so good quality, like College of Engineering Pune is a good university. It's not an NIT, it's not an IIT, but it is a good university. So so you should definitely look at, you know, going only to the top 100 universities in the US, you know, not below that. So it depends on what college, and everyone, each of you know what quality of college you are attending currently, right? Linto, your question is, are all PhD programs fully scholarship? So yeah, I think we did address this in one of the earlier sessions also. So yes, they are in the US, not all but the ones in the US. Sakshi, your question is, does being a blogger or YouTube improve your chances of selection? No, again, you are not. You are like not sticking to the agenda of this. It's not about your eligibility. We covered the admissions criteria, so we'll talk a little bit more about it. But right now we are talking about what students look at, right? Harsh, your question is, are the rankings available a good benchmark for measuring quality? Yes, there are US News rankings specifically. They are a decent benchmark. Yes. Manik, your question is, I want to change my field from civil to CS. How should I find the colleges? So I mean, the CS, the computer science colleges in the US, you will find a list, of course. However, irrespective of which college you apply to, computer science is an extremely competitive program. So if you want to change from civil to CS, so even with a very good academic scores or very good GRE scores, your chances of getting admission in the top universities is kind of less, because the competition is extremely tough and universities will prefer students who have bachelor's degrees in computer science. So purely because of that, your chances in the top university will be slightly reduced. Atharva, see, I don't know every university in India, so I don't know about ICT, so I'm not in a position to give you this information. But you should talk to the admissions counselor in the branch that you attend, right? Jayas, we discussed the scholarships last session, so you can look at the webinar recording. So for now we are not talking about that. So let's not digress from today's agenda. So Shrishti, your question is, if we are not from top Indian colleges, then should we stick to mediocre colleges only? No, that is not my point. My point is that you should aim for better colleges. So if you are from mediocre Indian colleges, so you should apply to better US colleges. They can be top 10, top 100, anything, but they should definitely be not like below like 200. So right. So what I'm trying to say is that your target should be a better college. Not like at the same level. That's it. Priyank, your question is, which universities are better, American or European? American universities are definitely better, purely because there are a lot of options available, in terms of job opportunities, funding options, ROI. American universities are definitely rated higher than European. In fact, Canadian universities are also rated better than European. But if you are comparing a mid-level US university with an Oxford or Cambridge, then that is not a right comparison. So if you are comparing an average university of US with an average university of Europe, then the US universities are better. Canadian universities are also equally good. But the point is that you have to look at the quality of the university. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of generic questions, so I will move on. So Anish, your question is a very basic question. Difference between MS, MA, PhD. It's an extremely basic question. So you can email these type of questions. At the end of the webinar, I will give you an email ID where you can send in your questions. So right now we are sticking with the university selection status, right? So students look at quality of education, budget and scholarships when deciding which universities to choose. Another important aspect is also job prospects. Now how this comes into the play is that let's say if you have to compare a university that is maybe ranked higher but not located centrally, not located in any industrial zone or any near big city, then the employment rate would probably not be as high as a university that is located in a big city. So the top 20-30 universities don't matter, they are good, the jobs are also good, so don't worry about it. But if you have to go to a university that is, let's say, ranked 70, which is ranked 70, let's say, which is not located centrally, versus a university that is ranked 100 but located in a major city like New York, Chicago, etc., right? Then you should rather go to this university. It's just like in India. In India, if you get into an IIT or NIT, it does not matter where the college is located, right? But if you have to make a decision between a university that is located in a big city like Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, versus a college that is not located in a big city, so the job prospects would definitely be better in the university that is located in a big city. The same logic holds true in the US also. For the top 20-30 universities, it does not matter where the university is located, but beyond that, it is better, especially for international students, it is better, you'll have, for job prospects, it is better if you go to universities located in the bigger cities, right? So these are the things that you need to keep in mind when choosing universities, right? So it cannot be only a factor of the tuition fees, or it cannot be a factor of only rankings. You have to keep in mind all these 4 things while deciding which college to apply to. Now in general, there are some general guidelines, so if you are applying for MS Computer Science, MIS, which is Masters in Information Systems, MS Electrical Engineering, so for these programs, so the universities in the states of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, California, Ontario in Canada, and Texas, these are good for these programs in the sense that there are a lot of jobs available. There are a lot of because there are a lot of software and electronics industries in these states. So if you want to if you have to choose between a university that is located in New York versus versus a university that is located in Florida, let's say, for computer science, you should definitely go to the university located in New York, right? So so this is what this is so for those of you who are planning to apply for computer science, MIS, electrical engineering kind of programs, whether it is masters or PhD, by the way, not necessarily masters or PhD, so then these are the hot these are the hot spots, you can say. Now this is where these are the universities where a lot of research in these areas happen. So even if you're applying for PhD, it's great. So these are the places where a lot of internships are available, so you can your job search becomes easier. These are the places where a lot of industries are available, so your in terms of getting a job after the degree, it's easier. So for these programs, these are the states that you should keep an eye out for. So for people applying for masters or even PhD degrees in this core areas such as mechanical engineering, manufacturing engineering, industrial engineering, engineering management, these programs, whether it's a master's degree or a PhD degree, the universities located in Michigan, Missouri, Wisconsin, Texas, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Ontario in Canada, British Columbia in Canada, and Arkansas in US, these are good for these programs. Why? Because there are a lot of auto industries and manufacturing units in these states, coupled with a lot of consulting firms which deal with these companies, right? So again, it boils down to this thing, when deciding which college to go for, it's not just the college ranking. You will also have to keep in mind what you want to do. Ultimately you want to do a job, so it makes sense to go to a place where jobs of that program are easily available, right? Now for again MS or PhD in programs such as biotechnology, biomedical engineering, biological sciences, so this domain of biology and engineering, this domain, so for these universities located in New York, Virginia, Washington, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Florida, Maryland, and other states in the East Coast. So everybody knows the kind of the map of the US looks something like this. So this portion, where New York, New Jersey, and also this is called the East Coast, right? And California, and this portion is called the West Coast, right? So for biology and biomedical science, related programs, so biotech, and also the East Coast universities and universities located in these states, they have lot of jobs. They have lot of these states, they have lot of companies who do extensive research in this, right? So if you are looking for programs in this domain, then these are the states where the universities are good, right? So ultimately you'll get internships and lot of job opportunities in these regions. I don't know how many of you are planning to apply for, this is like MPH means Masters in Public Health, MHA means Masters in Health Administration, and pharmacy programs. If you want to apply for Masters or PhD degrees, in these, so then any state in the US would be fine. But for studying, any state in the US would be fine. But more jobs are available in rich states, These states in the US are quite rich, like New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Washington, Massachusetts, California, Florida, Michigan, and Texas. So these are where a lot of the jobs in this, in these areas are available. So these are things that you can keep in mind, while deciding which colleges to apply to, right? So because not every state or not every college is good for you, right? Depending on what program you want to apply for, you have to choose the colleges accordingly. So so any questions? Please don't ask generic questions. As I said, we have been running these webinars, so today is specifically for specifically for university selection. So let's not go into questions related to scholarships or application criteria. We will have sessions on those as well. Right, so this was the next thing, Jayesh, for finance related programs, it's MS in financial engineering, MS finance, computational finance. For these kind of programs, again, East Coast states are very, that is where the US stock market is located. Hence a lot of companies operate, finance related corporate companies, banks operate from that region. So New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Virginia, Washington. So these are the places that you can look at if you are applying for finance related programs. Rasika, yes, California is good for MS in accounting also, but the East Coast accounting comes under it's like a subdomain within finance itself, right? So the East Coast is better, but yeah, California is also decent. Anish, your question is university without 16 years of education. So again, this is you are talking about an admissions criteria, not like university selection. But anyway, there are a couple of universities depending on what program you want to apply to. There are some universities which may accept without 16 years of education. So chemical engineering would be similar to your a lot of the chemical engineering domain regions would be similar to these regions. So Rishikesh, your question is Arizona has high ranked MIS college but is good for MIS job. See, Arizona, the Eller School of Business, it is like the it is one of the top 3 universities for MIS. So if you are already applying to a top 3 to 10 university, then the location is not that important. It is one of the MIS programs offered by Eller or Kelly, or Carnegie Mellon. They are the top 3 universities. So if you get admission there, so you don't have to worry about where the where it's located. Okay, Santan, for programs like PhD economics, or social sciences, any university is good. Of course, try not to go to Alaska and all, Alaska, Utah, not very good, obviously. But rest of the states are fine. Alaska, Hawaii, Utah, they are not very, jobs or education oriented states. So if you rest of the states in the US are fine, and even Europe, UK is good for economics. Manish, Ireland is really good for computer science. For computer science, Ireland is really good. So basically, University College Dublin, if you can get admission there, that is one of the best colleges for computer science. Kapil, machine learning would be clubbed with mechanical, so the same would apply. It is a combination of computer science and mechanical, obviously. So you can the regions can be clubbed. Gagandeep, for management, again, whether it's MSc management or MBA, so anything is good. So they are not that industry specific, whereas engineering jobs are very, very industry specific. So you have to look at the regions where those industries are located. Same goes for international relations, studies, etc. Yes, Shikhar, forest development management would come under biotechnology, but my recommendation is that you should not go for such very niche programs, because your options will be very, very less. So Harsh, your question is, any university in the top 100 would suffice irrespective of the location. I am not sure what program you are talking about. Himanshu, your question is, do we have to apply for the jobs, or are there campus placements after finishing? No, it is not like in India, where the college will organize, you know, campus placements, and they will make sure that you get jobs. It's nothing like that. There will be campus fairs, of course. There will be recruitment fairs. So you have to, in the campus, obviously, you have to go meet the companies and like pursue almost on your own. Alumni network helps. Every college also has they also have this, you know, the career placement officers, which will help you in basic stuff like preparing your CV and setting up your interviews, etc. But they do not guarantee that you will get a job. I didn't say that it's not, Vishak, I did not say that UBC, University of British Columbia, is not good for computer science electrical. I say that, you know, if you are not getting into a, you know, top 10-15 university, the location becomes important. The location becomes important when you are not able to get admission in a top 10-15 college. Sayantan, yes, by jobs, you know, industry jobs as well as R&D jobs, you know. Shishida, you know, economics and all, they are, you know, they are not industry oriented, right? So you don't have to worry about the location. They are more theoretical, you know. They are, you know, the university itself will have a lot of job opportunities. So for civil also, for civil architecture also, you can have the same group of states, like the, you know, like the ones for MPA, purely because of the rich state thing, you know. There are a lot of job opportunities for architecture, civil in these states. Mohammed, your question is, can we get INTI direct PhD after BTech without MS? Yes, you can. That is another hallmark of the US education system. Right after your bachelor's degree, you can apply for PhD programs. Of course, your profile has to be good, you know, but you are eligible to apply. Divyanshu, MEM, you know, that is Masters in Engineering Management, are not that easily available. You know, there are just barely a handful of colleges that's available that offered, you know, engineering management programs within US itself. You know, so in the US, lot of colleges have engineering management, you know, but outside India, not hardly any actually. Manik, your question is, if one does have good academic profile, like then what should one do apart? Okay, again, Manik, we are not right now, just hold on, we are not discussing application criteria right now. Sanjana, your question is, what if I get into a higher rated university in a state where job opportunity is less, but a lower rated university in, say, New York? Depends, you know, what you mean by higher or rated. If higher or, you know, low. If it is a top 20 university, you don't have to worry about the location. Shikhar, the question is, how is British Columbia University? So British Columbia is one of the, UBC is one of the best universities in Canada. So construction management, civil engineering, I think I already addressed that question. Okay, Priyanshu, your question is data science master's program. Now, to begin with, data science is a comparatively new program. So very few universities have the data science master's program. So whichever university offers, so they have started offering, you know, in response to industry demand. So the jobs will be good there. So so don't worry about the location of the university for data science program, because it is a comparatively new program. Hence, the competition will not be that, you know, I mean, the job opportunities will be good enough. Anish, MA Economics from New York or California, location wise both are equally good. You have to look at the quality of college. If you are getting into a better university in New York, you should go there. If you are getting into a better university in California, then you should go there. Psychology, you know, psychology again, this is the East Coast universities are good, so are West Coast. Canada is also very good for psychology. Pulkit, Thermal engineering, now it's again a very niche program, so you don't have to worry about it. Whichever college is offering thermal engineering, because the college options are so less, the job opportunities will be decent. See, for those of you who want to know what are the best colleges for programs in US, the rankings are there in usnews.com. So I'm just typing it's www.usnews.com. You will see the rankings there. If you want to know what are the best colleges in the US for certain program, you can find the detailed list there. Bhavishya, MS in MIS, so you have got University of Arizona, you have got Indiana University, Bloomington, you have got Carnegie Mellon, you have got University of Illinois at Springfield. There are quite a few universities. You can ask your admissions counselor, so based on your profile, he will be able to shortlist some universities for you. Well, Virginia Tech is extremely good for mechanical and automobile engineering, extremely good. Virginia Tech is anyway one of the top 20 universities for engineering, so don't worry, don't have to worry about that. Somnath, your question is way too specific. I would recommend that you email us separately. Shanu, your question is, apart from US, which other countries are good for electronics and telecommunication? Canada is good. Even some of the German colleges are good. Niyamat, for biotech, the US colleges are the best. Sukhmander, artificial intelligence, machine learning, software engineering, which one have more demand? All of them are equally good. Maximum demand is for software engineering, because the IT industry has a severe shortage of software engineers in the US. So maximum job opportunities are there for software engineers. Ravi, your question is, location of university from city for job prospects show to compare between different courses of different universities. For example, communication engineering of one university, computer science of university 2. Okay, now you are taking trying to compare two parameters at the same time. This is a difficult thing to do. So I'm just saying that for all things remaining constant, if I apply for the same program, then you can compare. You cannot compare it's like trying to solve for x, y, z, using only two equations. You will not get the a solution. Shikhar, yes, dual degrees are recognized in the US. So if you have a dual degree from India, let's say bachelor's and master's, integrated degree, so that is fine. It is recognized in the US. Is there any possibility to join the college itself as a professor after the PhD program? Well, it is not that easy. After your PhD program, you have to work first as a research professor, then you have to start out as a lecturer. So yeah, but yes, you can. Some students are able to do that. So guys, see, if you want basic names of what are the universities that offer electrical engineering program, or what are the rankings for computer science, do refer to the US News link. You will get the information there. Rasika, your question is, true OPT option, can I get opportunity to work in CPA firm, as I have already applied for CPA? I am not able to totally understand your question. If you go to the US for a master's degree in you will get 1 year OPT. During that OPT, whichever company you work with is up to you, but you cannot get only the OPT. You have to do a degree in the US to get the OPT. Himanshu, universities in New Zealand and Australia are not known for the electronics or for the engineering programs actually. Sakshi, again, what are the various options for specialization in MS and CS? If you are a computer science student, you would already know, there are programs like algorithms, artificial intelligence, embedded systems, software engineering, so databases. You have already studied this, I guess, So if you want the list, again, it is available in the usnews.com website. Rishikesh, your question is, will rich states on East Coast have relatively high cost of living? Yes, of course. Yes. See, it's just like, just think in terms of in India, your places like Delhi, Mumbai, there are more jobs available, but so therefore there are the population is very high in these places, hence the cost of living is extremely high. This rule holds true for every every place, like London in UK. London is the place where most of the jobs are available. That's why the population is very high, and hence the cost of living is extremely high. So there is a direct correlation, of course. Mohammed, your question is, after completion of degree, can we stay in the US? Yes, after your completion of your master's degree, if you do a master's degree in any degree related to science, technology, engineering and mathematics, you get to stay in the US for 3 years, right? After your after the completion of your master's degree. If you do in some other field like economics and all, then you get to stay in the US for 12 months or 1 year. So the OPT period, it's called optional practical training. So the OPT period for degrees in science, technology, engineering or math is 3 years. For every other degree, it's for it's 1 year. So so MS analytics, now analytics, data analytics, data science, analytics. So US is the place where most of the research currently going on. Lot of job opportunities there. Most of the analytics companies, purely analytics companies, they are startups in the US, right? Akanksha, I have not heard of this University of Illinois at California. See, Illinois is a state, California is a state. So I think you have, the name of the university is not correct. You probably want to ask about some other university. Spanana, your question is, we need to select 4 colleges before exam. Okay, so you don't need to select. You can send your GRE scores for free to 4 universities, right? So you need to choose those the names of the universities after you see your GRE score. So it helps to have a kind of like a short list, that if I get this score, then I should send to these 4 universities, or if I get that score, I should send to these 4 universities. So Spanana, I would recommend that you get in touch with your admissions counselor. Shekhar, IIT is Illinois Institute of Technology is a good college, for electrical and it's close to Chicago. It's very good. So definitely good job opportunities. Shikhar, your question is, British Columbia University is offering forest sustainable management course of 9 months. I would recommend, you are going to be an international student, whether you go to Canada or US. So I would recommend that you go for a full master's program of 2 years. The benefits are high. You will have enough time to complete your education as well as look for jobs. In a 9-month period, it might be difficult for you to study as well as look for jobs. But in case you just want to do the diploma course and come back to India, then no problem with that as well. Megda, the job opportunities for international studies and relations are good, definitely good. It's very lot of it is very theoretical, but still, liberal arts, it falls under the domain of liberal arts. Of course, liberal arts are just one of the most the employable domains in the US. Astha, your question is, want MS in psychology from foreign university is a wise option if I am a BTech graduate. So see, first of all, I am not even sure if you'll get admission in MS in psychology. You do not if you do not have a background in psychology, you may not even be eligible to get admission. So you need to check your credentials out. Abhishek, your question is, Canadian US universities have 2-year master's program, while some of the universities in England offer 1 year. What does that signify, and what is better? Okay, it does not mean anything. It's just that the duration of in UK also there are 2 type of degrees, master's degrees. One is called a taught masters, where you only take courses. The duration of taught masters programs, that's 1 year. But they also have the option of research masters, which is for 2 years. So during the research masters, you take courses, you do a dissertation, so similar to the US masters. In US masters degrees, you take courses as well as you do dissertation and thesis, right? So but only difference is that in European universities, they give you this option. You can choose to take only courses and not do the thesis part, or you can do the thesis part. And if you do the thesis part, then the degree is called a research masters, and the duration is for 2 years. So if you are doing a thesis as a part of a master's degree, then that master's degree it has a higher value than a non-thesis master's degree, right? So so if you want to do a PhD later on, or if you want to work in the R&D field, then it is extremely helpful if you do a thesis masters and not a non-thesis masters. Ravi, your question is, like US news, is there any site for European universities? Okay, so there is the for not necessarily European, so for UK, you get the Times Good University rankings or the Guardian rankings. You get that rankings for your for the UK colleges. For management related programs, you have Financial Times rankings, but for engineering and all, there is no one consolidated site that ranks European universities. Supriya, again, please go to the usnews.com website to get the rankings of the chemical engineering universities in the US. So the US university would give you rankings of universities based on various programs. Sukhmander, your question is, other than US, Canada, UK, which is next good country for good universities for MS in computer science? So Ireland is a good option, definitely. We already, I think somebody brought that up. Ireland is a good option. Ankit, private university or public university, it's like there's only difference in the manner in which the university is funded. In the US, there are two types of universities. Public universities are funded by the government, and private universities are privately funded. It is not an indication of quality. A lot of the universities, top universities in US, like your Harvard, MIT, Stanford, they are private universities. Then again, like universities such as UC Berkeley, UT Austin, they are public universities. So in the US, private and public, they are just indicators of how the university is funded. It is not an indicator of the quality of the university. Sahil, your question is it mandatory to get a job in the period of 1 year to extend the OPT to 3 years? So, yes, it is mandatory, of course. So, MS Finance, Shrishti, for most universities, the OPT is for 1 year, but there are some Masters in Finance programs, such as, University of Rochester. There are a couple of Masters in Finance programs where the OPT is for 3 years. Poshali, your question is, after completion of a PhD program, we can work for how many years? What is the OPT period? Okay, so for PhD, again, if your PhD is in a STEM course, that means if your PhD is in a science, technology, engineering or mathematics course, then the OPT period is for 3 years. If it is not, then it is for 1 year. Yes, Rasika, OPT is available for all master's program in the US. So for masters in accounting, the OPT period is for 1 year. There are some accounting programs though where the OPT is also for 3 years, but there are just handful of them. Jay, your question is, at most before which month we should take GRE if we are targeting early decision? Okay, for MS there are no early decision deadlines, so if you want to apply early, so if you want to meet your deadlines, I would say the deadlines would start from December. So October, November is the time when you should be taking your GRE. Shikhar, your question is, if we have done some of the subjects in our dual degree, are they deducted from our master's course? No, they are not. Dipanshu, your question is, what is the difference between MS and M engineering? Okay, again, it's the same as so MS. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Right. So MS has a MS degree is, as a part of the degree you have to do a thesis, and they are for 2 years. M engineering, you usually do not have to do a thesis, and some of the M engineering degrees are for 1 year. That's the difference. So it is advisable that you go for MS degrees, you know. Shikhar, I think I already addressed this. Your question is how are the placement sales of American universities? So how means, of course they are good, but they operate differently from the placement sales of the Indian universities. In Indian universities, the placement sale, like, you know, almost like guarantees that you will get a job, but that is not the case with US universities. The career placement or the career opportunity center or career advisory center, they are called by different names. So they would, like, you know, help you make your CV. They will prepare you for interviews. They will set up your appointments with companies. They will put you in touch with relevant, you know, alumni members, you know. So they would do all of that, but they are not going to guarantee that you will get a job. Jay, yes, a lot of the universities, they have a non-thesis track for MS in computer science. They have a non-thesis track in other programs as well, but that is not a recommended track. Vishek, your question is, if someone wants to work in the IT industry, would you still recommend MS rather than MNG? See, MS is more prevalent, you know. If you want to apply for masters, all the universities offer MS degrees. Only a handful of universities offer M engineering degree. So I would anyway, so it totally depends on you. Depends on the kind of program that you have, kind of college that you are getting admission into. Santon, am I eligible to get similar funding for similar ranked? Yes, for PhD, yes. PhD does not make a difference whether you are applying for public or private. That is the whole concept of PhD. Shreya, your question is it's very difficult to answer. Your question is, what is better, MS in CS or MIS? It is nothing better. Both of them are totally different degrees, right? Depends what you want to do. Both of them are equally good. It's like asking what is good, you know, apple or mango. Both of them are good in their own way. Megha, your question is, apart from Washington and New York, any other area that have grad colleges for international relations? You know, you should look out for DC also, not the Washington state, the District of Columbia state, you know. So they have some programs. So does Chicago. Alekhya, I have done my BTech and EC. I want to do my MS in analytics. Is it okay? No, that's fine. No, nobody has a bachelor's degree in analytics, by the way, right? So analytics, these programs like engineering management, you know, analytics, computational finance, nobody has a bachelor's degree in that. So people from various domains apply for those. So you are definitely eligible for that. Supriya, question is, are there scholarships available for MS only? I think we are already done with the scholarship segment. So no, just if you want, you can look at the recording later on. Akansha's question is, does getting job in Ireland after MS easier compared to US? It is not easier, neither is it more difficult. Depends on which college in the US you go to. Bhavishya, yes. Sahil, your question is, the period to get a job after completion of master's to 3 months or 1 year? I didn't understand your question. Shikhar, your question is, coming from a biotech background, would my lab work, major projects have paid, would add up? Yes, they would, but yes, they will definitely. Rajesh Kumar is saying, you know, if you want to apply, if you directly for a PhD degree after your bachelor's degree, you can do that. You will get a directly a PhD degree. You will not get a master's degree in between, and it does not matter, you know. If you after you have the PhD degree, it does not matter whether you have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. So I think, Supriya, that is around the same question as well. For MIS, there is the work experience is not a requirement. In some colleges, they might ask you to have 1 or 2 years of work experience, but it is not a mandatory requirement in most universities. So for those of you who want very profile specific, if you have very profile specific queries, you should write to this email ID. You should send to this email ID. If you want recordings of the previous webinars, because today I saw a lot of questions related to scholarships, so if you want the recording of that webinar also, you can email at this email ID. Kunal, your question is what type of courses would be good in Singapore and Hong Kong? It's not what type of courses. It's like comes down to the first thing that I had said. It depends on what you want to do. Like Singapore and Hong Kong, they have computer science programs, they have mechanical engineering programs, they also have financial engineering programs, they have economics programs. It depends on what you want to do. Sanjana, your question is, are there any undergrad courses that give you an advantage for MS in analytics? Yes, it helps if you are either from an engineering background or from a math background. Math, if your undergrad degree is in math or statistics or engineering, then you have a slight preference. So any other questions? Mohammad Ali, I think your basic understanding of the GRE score sending is a little not clear. So see, on the day of the exam, you have to give the names of 4 universities to which ETS will send your GRE scores. When you are giving the names of the 4 universities, you are not applying to them. You are just sending your scores. The application is a totally different process. You need not even apply to any of them. Or most students apply to 6 to 7 universities. So in addition to those 4 universities, you can always apply to 3, 4 more. In fact, you can apply to 5, 6 totally different universities. Sending GRE score and applying to a university are not the same thing. Shubham, German universities, are really strong in the automobile and mechanical, degrees. So if you get admission in RWTH or any of the TU university for automobile, those are really good universities. In the US, the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, so that's also very strong university for automobile. So automobile, by the way, in the US, you get very few universities which offer MS in automobile engineering, right? So if you have to compare the TU university, like if you get into a TU 9 universities in Germany and 1 or 2 universities in the US, so then it's actually you should go to the best possible universities. The TU universities in Germany are as good as the US universities that offer a master's degree in automobile engineering. The only thing is that in Germany, getting a job becomes slightly difficult for international students if you do not master the German language within the 2 years of your master's degree. Shubham, top 200 universities for MS in US, good? Yes, it's good. Definitely good in terms of job opportunities and quality of education. Yes. Whether it is good for you or not will depend on what is your bachelor's degree. If your bachelor's degree college is very good, then you should not. You should probably stick to top 50 or top 100 and not go to top 200. So Sayantan, we are actually running out of time because we got a lot of generic questions, so we are running out of time. So we'll probably cover those sometime later, maybe in a later session. Shubham, your question is GRE important for German universities? Yes, some of the universities have the GRE score as a criteria. But more than that, in German universities, it is your academic degree that's more important. So your bachelor's degree percentage has to be around 75%. If you do not have a 75% in a bachelor's degree, then irrespective of your GRE score, you will not get admission. Ankit, again, you can send your GRE score whenever you want to. You have to send your application before their deadline, and every university has their deadline. So you can even send your score to the universities now and apply it 1 year later. That's perfectly fine. Those two processes are not interlinked, right? So your main application, university application should go before the deadline of that university. Spandana, your question is way too generic. What are the good universities in Europe? You have to tell me for what program, right? It varies. Akash, your question is if one is not with good percentage in bachelor's but with, how then does it affect? Okay, so again, please write an email to information@jamboreeindia.com and ask them to share the session on admissions criteria. That would be that there we deal with it in far more detail. Right, Ravi, you can do that. So NCSU Linto is by any standard a very good university for any program. Spandana, for electronics, it's German universities are good but not as good as they are for mechanical and automobile. International relations, you see in Europe, if you are able to get into a good college like in Oxford or Cambridge, or SOAS, for that matter, they are extremely good options. So you can apply to a mixed bag of colleges, apply to some colleges in Europe, some college in US, and then go to the best university. I would recommend that for international relations. Ravi, you've done your BTech from top 10 Indian university. Is a university to rank 200 from Times? I don't think so. You should not look at that. See, Germany is very good for mechanical and automobile. For the rest, US is better. For US universities, ranking what is better for what program. So all this information you can get in the usnews.com website. And for US universities, they themselves recommend the US News ranking, not the QS ranking. So for US universities, definitely US News ranking is best. Okay, so that's all the time that we have today. So for the rest of your questions, if you have any questions, please feel free to email at this email ID.